everyone. Hi and welcome to RNS Life After 55. We're really excited today because we're finally going to tell everyone what we've been working on for the last 60 days, maybe?
Yeah,
about that.
so.
Something like that. So we're going to, and when we tell you what's going on, you'll understand why we didn't say anything until now, because you want to make sure your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, and your ducks are all in a row. Our ducks will never be in a row, but they're close enough. So, and Rusty's...
They're traveling together.
They're traveling together. Rusty's going to try to do a little more talking today. He still doesn't talk very good. And I didn't think to grab the mic until just this moment. So, hopefully you guys can hear us okay. I don't think we're that far away from the mic on the camera. So, hopefully it's all good. But I don't even know where to start because everything happens for a reason, and sometimes things just happen because you just have to change your plans midstream. Our plans, Rusty turned 60 this year in May. He turned 60 about 5 days before he found out that he had stage 4 cancer. But our plan all the way up to his 60th birthday, I guess you could say, was that at 65 he would retire and we would hit the road with our cargo trailer we've been working on. Of course, we're going to use it between now and then also, but the plan was to maybe full-time for a little bit or more, stay in it a lot of the time. That being said, sometimes you got to go with plan B when life hands you lemons. You got to figure out a way to make lemonade, and that's what we've been trying to do. So, guess what we're doing? We are going to be closing on the sale of our house next week. We have a 3,000 square foot home and that we've been in for almost 25 years. It's almost paid off.
We, 25 years ago, me, Sherry, and our 2 boys, and at the time they were...
Teenagers. Well, one was 9 and one was 14.
Yeah, one was 9, one was 14. We built this house.
And it's a Build-Barndominium. Of course, when we built it in 2000 as a Build-Barndominium,
there weren't any.
There wasn't such a word as a Build-Barndominium. We did that because we had a house burned down right before that. Oklahoma gets a lot of wildfires and stuff. That's not how our other house burned, but that was always a fear we had. So Rusty had the idea, let's build it out of metal. So if there's a wildfire or brush fire, whatever you want, pasture fire, it won't burn our house down as easily. We could maybe stop it. So, because at the time, a lot of people's homes were burning down because of that.
And I didn't want one that looked like a shop building. I wanted eaves. So, and nobody was building houses or shops with eaves. So I had to design my own house because nobody had a design for one. Over the years, other people have tweaked it and made it better than what I did. And there's a lot of things I would do different. Well, actually, my son builds them now. And he does do them different than the way I did mine. He learned from my mistakes.
Well, it's not really mistakes. It's just things have evolved over time. And y'all notice we have a fire going back here. This is October 28th-ish. I don't know. It's Sunday, the end of October. It's cold today, so we're sitting in front of the fire to do this thing in the house that we are selling. So, yeah, we're selling our house, and it's all sheetrocked on the inside. I don't know if you can tell. It looks like a regular... When you walk in it, you would know that it was metal on the outside. It looks like a regular house. But, okay, so that being said, yes, we had thought about just... The problem is now with Rusty is he's been on short-term disability, which means he gets 60% of his pay. He's on that until January 20th. After January 20th, he can switch over to long-term, but then he goes down to 50% of his pay, so he loses a little bit more money. And this house, because it is 3,000 square feet, the electric bill on it in the summertime, it's been running us about $600 a month. I know it's crazy ridiculous, but it's been around about $600 a month.
Well, That's this house
Plus, we have a rental next door.
and a rental next door.
Right.
So
That's all connected on one bill. We can't afford it. We are lucky. We have our 30-something, 33-ish-year-old son that lives here with us. Because he's been in college forever, and he just passed his state licensing for his LPC, and he has a really good job. And he had talked about, okay, it's time for us to move out, and we're gonna, him and his husband, we're gonna go get something and build us a house or buy a house or whatever, maybe move it out on the property, because we do have over 80 acres out here, with 2 wells and all that good stuff. After then this all happened, he talked about that before the cancer thing came up. Well, since the cancer thing came up, he's been helping me pay the bills on this because it's been so tight for us. And yes, I do work, but it's still tight. So we sat down and we discussed it between the two of us, and we said, why don't we let Jeremy buy this house and we go build us a small house that will have a much smaller electric bill. Our other son's smaller house, he only pays around $250 a month for his electric bill. My mom's paying around $100 to $200 a month. And it's just, I'm almost 60. This is a lot of house to do the floors, the sweeping, the mopping, the dusting, everything. It's just too much house. It's too big. I want a small house. We're not going tiny house, but we are going to go small house. That being said, that's our new news.
It's kind of a tiny house. The living quarters part of it's only
900 square feet.
900 square feet.
The living part, it's going to have 1 bedroom, 1 bath, which we're going to learn how to share 1 toilet. That being, we'll figure that out eventually. We may have to put an outhouse out. I don't know. So it's going to have 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a living room, a kitchen, a few closets, and a mud room with the washer, dryer, and hot water tank in. But then it's going to have a 12 by 20 attached on the back on one side of the mud room. And we're going to show you guys the floor plans and where we're putting the house and all that, because it's going on the property we already have. So we can tap right into our well. And
we got a well, water line, probably 70 feet from where the house is going. We got a main power pole within probably 150 feet of where the house is going. So
we are going to be digging a septic, but like he said earlier, our oldest son has a business doing this kind of stuff. So he has is that a backhoe?
Yeah, we got backhoes,
he has a
and skidders. And
he's got all
kinds
that
of heavy equipment.
Yeah, so he'll be digging, but we do have to put a septic in. That's the only thing we'll have to. We'll have to bury all of our lines, of course.
You make me do the lateral lines.
Yeah, maybe if you can. Anyway, so but what I was saying is there's going to be one side of the mudroom in the back, and when you see the blueprints that we'll show you, not blueprints, but our drawings that we did, one side is going to be a 12-foot by 20-foot sewing room for me, because I have a 12-foot, 12.5-foot long arm machine that I like to do my quilting with, and I need a room that's big enough for that. And then the other side of the mudroom is going to have, do you like me hitting you? The other side of the mudroom is going to have a 12-foot by 20-foot room, same size as the sewing room. That will be Rusty's little, kind of like a one-car garage, maybe a little bit bigger than what a one-car garage is, I think. I don't know how big those normally are, but it'll be bigger than a one-car garage.
Just a little bigger than a one-car garage.
Yeah, and he's going to put a garage, an 8x8 overhead door at the end of it, and that will be a place where he can tinker with his tools and keep all his stuff in that area.
I've got a shopsmith, which is a lathe, drill press, table saw, and then I've got radio arm saws. I got all kinds of saws and stuff. I like tinkering with wood, building stuff.
Yeah, he really likes doing that.
And also, then it also gives me a place to work on the four-wheelers and golf cart and stuff like that. If I got to work on a big car, we got a big shop that I can take that to, but this way it'll be close to the house.
Right. And originally we were just gonna, of course, if he would have retired at 65 and everything hadn't have changed in our lives like it did so suddenly, you know, we would have kept this house and we would have taken off in our trailer and we would have gone sightseeing the United States like what we want to do and still plan on doing, except that we would have just closed the house up while we were gone for a few months, or had one of the kids watching it or whatever. Yeah, I mean, Jeremy wanted to just get his own house though eventually. So, but this, then we talked about,
this is better.
Then we talked about just selling this to Jeremy, and why rebuild, we'll just go full time in our trailer. But Rusty's concerned, and I totally get it, that if something was to happen to him, I mean, you know, cancer's real, and so far all his tests and everything that have come back so far have been very, very promising. They're all, yeah, they don't see cancer, so we're hopeful. But you know, it's when my camera flipped off, so I'm hoping I can splice without this part in there, but in case I can't, here it is. But anyway, what I was trying to say was that Rusty doesn't want us to be full-time in the trailer, because if something happens to him, we need a home base where we can go and he can rest comfortably. I have a, as he put it, a front porch to sit on in my old age. And so we decided we do need a home base, and I totally agree. At some point we can't live on the road forever. Or at least we don't want to live on the road forever. So we can't wait to show you guys. And Rusty said, let's make 2 videos out of this. That's him. And so our next video is probably going to be tomorrow.
No.
No?
It's going to be too darn cold for me to be out there. It won't happen until
we can. I'm talking
Wednesday
about in the truck.
Thursday.
We're going to go get windows. We'll take them with us. We're going to go get windows tomorrow first.
I thought you meant to show them where the house is going to
Yeah, and that can be, if it is too cold, we can always, if we decide to do that, we can just show them the pond. We're putting it right in front of a pond. It's beautiful.
I don't know if you can see through this window, but
we have a pond here too.
we got a pond in front of this one too.
Yeah, I think they probably saw it on some of the cargo videos. Maybe, I don't know. But we'll have to show you guys that. But anyway, we are building a Build-Barndominium. And then we don't know what's going to happen. We have decided one thing, and some of the people from Rusty's work that watches this may be hearing this for the first time, but because of this cancer, he is probably now going to try and take his retirement sooner than 65, probably 62 or 63, depending on how long he can make it. That's kind of what the plan is, right?
Yeah.
We don't know if he can make it to 65, but right now the doctors don't seem to be real positive about him trying to make it to 65, but they don't know Rusty either, so he has a lot of willpower, so we'll see what happens there. But anyways, we don't know yet when he's going to get to go back to work. He still can't walk hardly from one end of the house to the other without having to sit down and rest, because he just gets really tired. And I guess that's just from what the doctors say, that's, you know, up to 3 years of feeling that bad, but we're hoping for him, maybe, hopefully not. So we're just kind of playing it all one day at a time.
My chicken house is about 100 feet away, and I can make it out to it, gather the eggs, and make it back to the house, and then I'm gasping for air. So.
And I get to do all the 5-gallon. We have 2 5-gallon waters out there for him. 5 gallons of water is a little heavy, and then we have a 5-gallon bucket of feed. Luckily, we only feed him every other day and gather eggs. So Rusty just does the egg gathering, and I pretty much do the rest. I get to do all the heavy lifting right now. So nobody wants him to get to feeling better quicker than I do, trust me. But you know, it's okay. We've adjusted. We're making everything work. It's not been that big of a problem, I guess.
Work on the cargo trailer's kind of a little slow.
The cargo trailer is slow
because I sit in the chair and tell her what to do. She's a pretty good apprentice, though. She does pretty good running a screw gun now. So
and if that's all you've got, you just got to use what you got.
She don't round out the screw heads anymore.
I have split a lot of wood though.
And then she gets in the knot, and then she kind of has problems.
Yeah, the knots are hard. But we're about ready. I did talk to our oldest son the other day, and he's gonna bring a skidder over here and probably get ready to move our cargo trailer, because that's what else we didn't tell them. We're moving the cargo trailer to our new property. We're gonna run temporary electricity to the cargo trailer. We went and bought the electrical stuff, I think, for part of that. I'm not sure what. Rusty, so
Well, I bought a permanent box, because once we get the new house built, I'm gonna mount it. I'm gonna put a live sewer and power and water
for the trailer.
For the trailer on the back of the house, so I can just back it in and plug it in. So when we come home for a week or two or whatever, you know, in between our ventures, our travels,
yeah,
I can have something to hook it up to.
And he did that at this house too years ago.
Yeah, I've got one out back on this house.
And we've had a lot of company come over, and we tell them, hey, just back in back there, and there's already, you know,
sewer, water,
and hookup and electric. Yeah. So we're gonna do that there. So if anybody ever wants to come and visit, we'll have a place for you to hook your trailer up to. We won't have a place in the house for you because it's gonna be a little house, but we'll have a hookup for you. But we are gonna take our trailer over there, and we're planning on staying in it most of the time while we're working on the Barndominium. Am I saying that right? Barndominium?
Barndominium.
I think that's what they call it now. Anyway, but we're going to be staying in that most of the time, and we are going to take you guys with us every step of the way. And I think that's about all we have for today. Rusty, you want to tell everybody how you're feeling?
No, I'll tell them later.
Oh, okay. So that's all we have for today. Don't forget, someone told me to make sure I remind everyone to hit the bell if you want to see our videos or be notified when we post one. I'm not sure what the bell's about. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments. We really love those, and I like to answer all those or respond to all of them. And until then, I guess we will see you guys tomorrow, probably when we go window shopping. Thank you and for joining us today, and y'all have a great day.
See ya.